Hey guys, I made a statement on Facebook where I said the store is closing down on March 31st, and here's the reason why. There's many reasons behind that, and I think there will be huge changes coming too. I just got in here now, and I wanted to make this video as soon as possible. That means that everything in there will be sold with huge discounts, so I don't have to move as much. I'm going to be posting online, Reverb, eBay, Facebook, you name it. I probably will be listing out quite a few items in this group and other groups as well. So why are the store being closed down? Well, like I said, many reasons. Basically, reason number one is I have a huge problems with my next door neighbor. It's a church. On Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday and Sundays, they take up all the parking space around here. My customers have to park way down and walk up. And when you sell 100, 150, 250 pound speakers and 100-pound amplifiers and all that stuff, or they buy several items and they have to carry this around. It's been going on for a long time. I have been complaining. I've been sending written complaints. They haven't gotten warnings from the leasing office. Nothing is happening. So that's a problem, and I don't want that problem. It became really bad this last weekend on Saturday, and I just have had enough of that. Reason number two is the leasing office. I have had so many issues and problems with this place, and I have sent work recommendations and for them to create work orders to have it fixed. Nah, half-ass solutions. I am done with that. Ever since I moved in, 2 years ago, there has been water leaks, huge ones. I have taken somewhere between $12,000 and $14,000 in hits, and the last leaks that I had was last time it rained. Every time it rains, it leaks water. It was really bad a couple of months ago, back in October and November. It was really bad. The water came flowing in from the back area into my area, and there was like almost a half an inch of water on the floor, damaging a lot of products that was stored in my back room here, and I took another hit. My insurance company is not covering anything because they basically were here last year on New Year's Eve, a year ago, and they said, no, we don't cover it because the roof is old, it's wear and tear, and not adequate maintenance have been applied. So they don't cover anything that's getting damaged. So I have to basically fork out everything out of my pocket to cover the loss. So that's another thing. And they jacked up my utility rate because rent or payments, I was not supposed to pay a utility until the back area was rented by either me or someone else. Then I was going to get a prorated until someone moved into the back. I was going to starting on the next lease term, which would be April, but they started charging me utility already back in October, and they're charging me for gas, and this building do not have gas. There's all electric, so it's like 60 to 80 bucks a month in gas charges, and we don't have gas here. I have mentioned it to them several times. Yeah, when I go there, they take it off, or they give it back to me as a refund, or they knock it off on the next month rent or whatever. But it's so stupid that I have to go there every month and say, hey, the gas is still on here. So I've had it with my neighbors, I've had it with the leasing office. Nothing is being done. There's windows that has to be done something to. There's locks. There is fluorescent lights that haven't been changed for 2 years that I have asked them about. Yes, I could have done it myself, but it's in the lease that they are supposed to change the fluorescent lights. And there's now like 1 in here and 4 in the back room. 4 out of 6 in the back room, there's out. And 3 is out and 1 is coming and going. I'm not using the back room for anything but storage, so it's kind of like it's working, but it's not according to the lease. So it's a lot of bullshit things that is going on. And I've been being fed lies and lies from them every time. And in the lease, it states that when a work order is requested by me on something, they will respond within 24 to 48 hours and have it fixed. I can tell you that the seal on the window here, I sent in a work order in mid-November, and it hasn't been fixed yet. There's a door lock that is now kind of like jammed and hard to use the key on. So it's something going on inside there. I sent in a work order on that one first week of November, not been fixed. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So I have had it with them. I am moving out. I am not staying in a place where they're disrespecting the tenant in this way. And I have talked to 4 other tenants, one in the same building as me, and 2 up in building 1 and 1 in building 2. They also have problems. They have water leaks. They have all kinds of stuff of problems, and they are in the same boat as me. They're not being heard. Nothing's being fixed. When I moved in here, there were certain things that I said, this has to be fixed, this has to be fixed, I want this fixed, this. I gave them a list. It was like 7 or 8 things that had to be fixed. They fixed 2. The other ones are still unresolved. So, yeah, I can't deal with people like that. So I have decided that when my lease is expiring on March 31st, I will be out of here. And that means I have to take all this stuff to a warehouse or a storage unit until I can find another place. However, I might not go actively out on the market and try and find something else right now, because there is another thing that kind of like make this decision go in another direction. My wife has received an offer, and she has sent in her resume and an application for a job. And if she gets it, if the terms are correct and right and suitable, and we feel that we can be comfortable with it, we will be moving out of Memphis. And that can happen in a month, 2 months, 2.5, 3 months. That all depends on when they agree on starting terms and all that stuff. And we have to start looking for a house there and deal with our house here. So if she gets the job and the terms are right and everything is correct and she accepts it, or we accept it, she accepts it first, and then we talk about it. We've been talking about it for a week. She sent in her application last week. So if that goes through and that happens, that means we will be moving out of Memphis and down to Florida. So if that happens, I have to close this shop down anyway, and move my company and store down to Florida. So before Christmas, I was sitting here thinking like, oh man, there's so many issues. It's not been resolved. There's so many things that are not going according to lease terms and all that stuff. And I've been paying my rent. I've been paying what I need to do. However, I was holding back now. I have hold back for 1 month. I'm being a little bit pissed off. So either way, regardless of what happened here and what's not happening here, I was sitting there before Christmas thinking like, maybe I should try and find a different place. Maybe I should start looking for different places. And I have. I've been driving around town. I've been looking online to see, is there anything up for lease that I can move to here in Memphis? So I started that process before Christmas, thinking that, okay, my lease is up on March 31st. If I start looking now, maybe I can find something that I can transition into. Because that means that I have to go the code enforcement thing all over again. And I have to contact the county clerks and go there and change the address and all that stuff. Because the only solution they had here at this place was to move. He said, well, we can move you out of here until we get the roof fixed. It will take about a month to have it fixed. We can move it to the first building up here. I said, okay, that's well and fine, but there's 2 problems with that. What is the lease up there? Because I know the lease up there is, per square footage each month is double as that's here. So I was thinking if they move me up there temporarily for a month, for a month and a half, maybe 2 months at the most, I keep the same rate. Um, I shut down and just use it as a base because I can't have customers coming in because I haven't had code enforcement up there. So I just use it as a storage, do my online business from there and ship things out, and then I can move back in here when they're done. This was in November of 2019. Well, he said, well, you have to pay the going lease. And I was like, okay, how many square footage is up there? And it was like, I think it was like 1,500 square footage, square feet. And the rent came to like 1,700 and something. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You want to move me out of where I am now to a temporary location so you can fix the roof, but you expect me and you want me to pay the going rent there? I don't think so. That's not going to work. And second of all, if code enforcement comes by, I don't have a code enforcement approval to be there, so that's another problem. So I have to shut down. I have to put things in there and basically close the door and lock the door, and I can't bring people in. I can't do anything there. So basically, I'm not operating a business, but I have to pay higher rent while you're fixing the roof at the other place. Well, we are now 2.5 months later. They haven't done jack shit up here. So I would have been stuck up there. So, the lie. There's been lies and lies and lies. So I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied with how they are running things here. So I basically had made my mind up about finding a different location with more, maybe like a little bit more exposure to traffic and foot traffic, and where people could find me easier, because I'm kind of way in the back here. So, but it's been working okay. But for the next location, I was thinking, okay, I want more visibility. I want more foot traffic. I want more cars driving by and see my windows, see my signs, get those impulse things, and make it easier for people to find. I was thinking maybe I could find something closer to home, because right now, every morning and let I have to drive here, and if it's no traffic, it takes me about 20 minutes. That's no traffic. Let me tell you, Memphis during rush hour, especially in the afternoon. In the mornings, it's okay because I'm going kind of like in a way where the traffic kind of smoothens up after a little while. But on my way home in the afternoons, oh, forget about it. Easily an hour and a half. So it's like it takes at least double or 3 times, or maybe sometimes 4 times as long to get home. So I can leave here at 5:30 and I'll be home around 7, and it's not that far. It's around 20 miles. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I can find something closer to home. And I've been looking at 3 different locations that are 5-10 minutes away from my house. Small roads. I don't have to deal with the morning traffic except for maybe one set of lights and one intersection. But that normally goes fairly well. So that would be way better. So I've been thinking about that, and I've been actively calling landlords and lease companies, getting all the information and lease things and all that stuff. So I was thinking, okay, came April, I will have a new place. I have to do the code enforcement all over again, but just getting out of here would be the great thing about that. But then, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, my wife gets a phone call, and they're saying someone is interested in hiring you, or at least start the process of looking into maybe hiring you down there. So we talked about it. I said, hey, send in an application, and how can it hurt? If you get the right offer and the right terms and the right payment, yeah, we might look at it. And it's Florida. Heck, no winter, no snow, no nothing. And the area in Florida, it's kind of like South Florida. It's not too far away from Fort Lauderdale and Miami and West Palm Beach. So it's nice and warm. The only thing is it's 3 times more expensive down there than up here on everything. Well, gas is kind of cheap and all that stuff, but houses and commercial buildings and renting a retail store is at least 3 times more expensive, if not more, down there than here. So that will have to be something that I look into. But either way, I'm moving out of this place. I've had it with these numbnuts up here. Um, so either I'm gonna open. I will know more probably in April. Will there be a new store here in Memphis in a different location, or will I move the whole thing down to the West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale area? That's what it's come down to. So we will just have to wait and see. In the meantime, I will be having a crazy sale on as much as I can, because I really, it's a dreadful thought to think about moving all this shit again. Ooh, I have 170 boxes of guitar pedals back there that I really hate moving around. There's so much big stuff here, big speakers, big demo things, heavy stuff. And I basically have to do it all by myself. So it's oh Lord, I'm not looking forward to it. But it has to be done. I am done with these people here. I am so done with these people. So and who knows? You know, maybe moving is not such a bad thing. Maybe, just maybe, if I can get a different location, if we stay in Memphis, maybe I can get a better location. Maybe I can make it a better business and better store. Because this place has limits. There are limitations on this place. And if we move to Florida, well, that's going to be a different beast to tackle. But, you know, it might work out. And, you know, people in Florida, especially West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale, has a lot more money than the people up here in Memphis. If you don't know it, check up Memphis. Memphis is not a place where a lot of people have money. It's a place where you have a few people with a good income, and you have a few millionaires and a few people who live hog on the hog, and then you have a huge chunk of people that are basically poor. It's sad to say, but Memphis is a very poor city. What you have here is weird. You have old money, and there's quite a bit of those people, but there's old money, which is good money, which is like rich people, but I don't see too much of those. And then you have a very small middle class who's doing good, and then you have a huge chunk of poor people who basically lives on government assistance. So that's Memphis in a nutshell for you. If we had moved 2.5 hours, 3 hours east to Nashville, totally different scene. This type of business, this type of store in Nashville would have done fantastic. Even here in Memphis, from what I have seen, there's like 4 or 5 other stores like that sells instruments and stuff, and the biggest one is of course Guitar Center, but even they have had drops in from what I have seen. So Memphis is kind of like if you don't do online sales, you're not going to survive in Memphis. That's for sure. My online business is 85% of my sales. This store has just been a place where I could do demos, display things, pack things, store things. So I got out of, because when I was running a strictly online business for years, I had a home office and a storage unit. I did all the admin things from my office at home. And then, of course, when I shipped things, I went to my storage unit. I had everything there. I packed things there. I shipped it out. But if I didn't have an online business, this store would not be, it wouldn't be worth it. It would pay my bills that I have here. It would probably pay my fees that I have regarding selling with cards and stuff like that. And it would probably cover buying new products in. It wouldn't make me money. It would maybe go break even or lose a little bit. So the store on its own would not do that great. Not in this location. That's what I'm saying. This location is not optimum for certain types of products, but it's good for certain type of business. If I was a pure online thing and I just wanted to have a place where I could store things, um, pack things, operate my business out of, yeah, this would be great. But since I'm doing car audio, I'm doing guitars, I'm doing guitar strings, guitar polish, guitar pedals, you need to be in people's face. It didn't start out like that. So the changes that I have done over the last 2 years have also changed my need. So my need right now is more than what this location can do. And when people that I deal with here don't want to take my business seriously or other people's business seriously, yeah, no, then it's not a place that I want to be. It was okay to begin with. Now it's just become a hassle. So we're moving out. We're closing down this store. I'm looking for a different location. If it's going to be in Memphis or Florida, we don't know. I don't know yet. I will keep you posted on what's happening, because I have February and March to get out of here. So I have 2 months to get out of it. I will know more when, of course, the job thing with my wife is coming through and all that stuff. We are expecting to hear something back from them within maybe a week or two. So then we will know there what happens. She might have to be called and fly down there for an interview and stuff like that. So we will know more if it's going to be a different location in Memphis or a brand new location in West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale area in Florida. So until next time, take care.